Welcome to the 16-ounce Cinema Podcast.
Hello and welcome to 16-ounce Cinema, where we drink pints and talk pictures. I'm TJ. I'm here as always with Angus.
My name for this episode, I think, is going to be Dogs Barks in Background.
All right, I'm here with Dogs Bark in Background. And Michael.
Hey, you can call me Nobody in honor of a character in my film.
All right, I don't have a fun nickname, at least not that I'd like to divulge.
You're somebody to meet, Mike.
Oh, thank you, bro. That means a lot.
This is our nice, warm-hearted Tinder episode, and we'll be focusing on Native American, maybe beers, and definitely movies. Let's get right to it. Michael, you're first tonight. What are you bringing?
I have a Corona and lime. It's delicious.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Well, I guess...
Angus, what do you have?
Well, all right. Mine's a little more complicated. I did... One of my favorite beers of all time is Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
The lemon. One of my absolute favorite beers. So I picked up their Sunset Wheat the other night. I got a 6-pack.
Okay.
But I couldn't resist, so I had one. And then I went out again today and bought another. I bought Canoe Paddler because I thought that was more appropriate. But I have both bottles in front of me right now.
So Canoe Paddler sounds vaguely appropriate, or I don't know.
Like they. I was going to say they drove canoes, right?
They had canoes. Yeah, they drove them. Yep.
My movie certainly has a canoe, so yeah, it's definitely appropriate.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right.
Then I'm right.
And I'll be drinking Hanalei from Kona. Is the Hawaiian, and it also has the people paddling canoes on.
It's not Native American at all.
The label.
Yeah, neither one of you.
Why is Hanalei like Native Hawaiian? They're American. Hawaiians are Americans.
It doesn't.
A Native Hawaiian.
Okay.
You were born in Florida. That doesn't make you a Native American because you were born
right. But there
in
were
Florida,
people,
you fucking asshole,
in Hawaii
he put two things
who were
together.
like native to Hawaii.
I like that. Okay, but they're
Like not just because they were born there, but because like ancestrally, there is such a thing as Native Hawaiians.
That is.
But that didn't even become America until like fucking 20 years ago.
Yeah,
1998 is
I don't
when
know
Hawaii became.
so they're even more recently Native and non-American, right?
Well, I kind of like what you did. I like what you did. So I'm.
Yes.
Even though you
It's
yelled
an
at me.
ale. It's
I
an
180'd.
island
I'm on board.
IPA brewed with passion fruit, orange, and guava. So it's not the first. I brought another one before with guava and passion fruit. I guess that's my fruity little thing that I bring to the table. I was gonna. I looked up trying to find like Native American cocktails because I wasn't really like thrilled with going with Kona at first, but I really couldn't find anything. I did find some.
I told you that I tried the same thing, and I ended up just with Indian cocktails that had like curry and shit in it.
I found one that was non-alcoholic, that was just like fruit and honey. And then I found this really long article, and I thought it was like one of those where they give you a recipe, but they blog about it first.
Yeah, of course.
But no, it was just a long anti-Trump article, and at the end that it said that for like a Native American experience, you should just drink 8 ounces of whiskey. And I was like, well, that was really unhelpful and hateful.
What kind of whiskey?
Oh, it actually said firewater. I assumed that meant whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. What if it meant fireball?
Like that's what I thought at first. Like, 8 ounces of Fireball. And then I thought, like, I saw it at the end, and it was like a joke saying, like, Trump should get drunk, I guess. I don't know. But at first, I was like, okay, now the blog part is done, and here's the actual recipe. And it said 8 ounces of firewater. I was like, oh, that's not a recipe.
That would have been an interesting podcast if he did just follow those directions.
Yeah.
Just slam Fireball.
Yeah.
And then just bash Trump the entire episode.
Yeah.
I would have turned off my own podcast. I'm like, I'm done. I can't handle this. Not everywhere in my
He has
life.
broken many treaties.
I'm excited to open my beer. I'm reading it now.
I'm going to open both my beers.
Ooh.
The subtle bitterness of hops is balanced by passion fruit, orange, and guava. Easy does it. Kayak the stunning Hanalei Bay and ease your way through the tropical paradise of northern Kauai. Kauai? Refresh your senses with this crisp... Oh, Island IPA. I read it backwards.
My Sunset Wheat is so much darker than the Canoe Paddler.
Is it delicious? You did buy 2 of them. It sounds delicious.
The sun... What the fuck is going on?
It's not the first
Did a
time I used
Terminator
this
show
bottle
up?
opener. Chill out.
Don't tell us to chill. It was frightening.
Yeah, that was horrifying, man.
All our Doctor Who fans will appreciate it.
One of my beers is 5%, the other one's 4.9. It just almost came
Just
close
almost.
together. Sunset Week, I keep calling it Sunset Week.
This is a good beer. I really like Kona. I
Great.
wish that we had more of them here. Does Texas have more of Kona? There's only like 3 or 4 varieties that they have, but they have a very wide variety. Obviously,
Don't
in
we have
Hawaii,
all
where
the
they're from.
varieties here?
No, we sometimes get like I think they had a coconut porter, but they have a few other ones. I was looking on Untapped one day, and they have several others that I've just never seen.
I see it, but I never pay attention to which ones are there or how many different ones. Because it's not one that I normally get, so...
We usually have Fire Rock, of course, Longboard, and Big Easy. And I think there's one more in a blue bottle. Big Easy's blue, but
I know
there's another one.
I see the longboard one a lot, everywhere.
I really like the Fire
that's the
Rock one,
longer.
yeah.
And Hanalei I see occasionally. Well, are we ready to talk about some movies?
We are, I think. So,
All right, Michael.
I'm going first. Yay! So my movie is Dead Man, starring Johnny Depp and a lot of famous people. There's a lot of them in this movie, and it also has a Criterion release, Blu-ray, which is cool since you guys know I have a Criterion fetish. So I was very happy about that.
Do you have the Criterion of it?
I will in a very soon-to-be future. So yes,
Oh, I
But
don't
you
wanna hear this
canceled.
review,
You
then.
canceled your Filmstruck, your Criterion streaming.
that's true. So
Wait, why?
wait, what?
Why did you cancel
canceled?
Filmstruck?
Oh, I did cancel Filmstruck. It was pricey, and nobody used it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna use that one day after these 6
Yeah,
months
we
of
were-
you
we
having it.
Attempting to share Filmstruck. I think I watched 2 Mario Bava movies and like 2 Fritz Lang movies.
Hey, me too. Well, the Bava part.
In the 6 months that Mike had it up for us.
Yeah, I would have it used more if it was on PlayStation 4 yet, but it wasn't, so I'm not paying for computer streaming.
Oh, then that's my reason, is because it wasn't on PlayStation. That's totally my reason.
So the movie
I
starts
had it on
with Johnny Depp on the train, and he has hemorrhoids. I'm a hemorrhoid expert, as you two know, so I know this is exactly
gosh.
what the issue is.
Me too.
Yeah, you too. You know.
No.
He's just hanging out on his train. He has like this stupid tweed jacket, and he takes like deep breaths, and he's squirreling around
Deep
the damn
breaths
seat.
because of the hemorrhoids.
Yeah, he's just
Oh.
moving. He's like dancing on
Oh,
his
that's
butt.
right. A
Just can't get
train
comfortable.
ride would be exceptionally painful.
Brutal.
Yeah. And it's like it's
Brutal.
from like the
Right.
the 1800s, so it's like a super clunky train. He's just like bum bum bum
Yeah.
bum.
And
He's
the
very
hemorrhoids are
unhappy.
probably extra clunky and lumpy.
And so
Do you have
all
any
that
expertise in hemorrhoids, TJ?
no, TJ's
Do you have
too thin.
expertise in hemorrhoids? Or...
No, once or twice. I mean, everybody has,
Ah.
but not to any great degree.
Dude, I'm leaning over right now
Oh,
to not
no.
like
Really?
fucking the gopher sticking out of my asshole right now. Like just hurts.
Remember when mine was so bad I was taking like 5 baths a day. It's just like
Yes.
all the time I was just bathing
You were-
nonstop.
You were like running your own essential oils business with all the different like things you were desperately trying to make them go away.
I would come home in the middle of summer and just take a warm bath.
I would see you with cucumbers over your eyes and shit, like it was a real spa.
It's the only time I wasn't in pain.
So now he lay face down with a snorkel and put the cucumber on his butt.
So now we all know how Johnny Depp felt on this little ride.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. So during this
pretty
whole
bad.
This whole train ride, other travelers keep giving him like the stink eye, mostly because like they're all like hard-working mountain people, and he looks like a puff. He just looks like a gay man. And,
Who's like all twitching around on his
little
bum.
moving around. Exactly. There's about like 9 cuts in 3 minutes of just Johnny Depp closing his eyes, the music getting really loud, and then we cut back to like mountain scenery and like hemorrhoid Depp. That's really just the way the movie starts.
Steamery?
So I did, but I meant scenery. Like it's because he's on a train across a mountaintop or something.
Okay.
I got excited for like 1 second because I thought there was a man in blackface, but it turned out just to be Crispin Glover.
That easy mistake.
Yeah, easy mistake. But I thought he was in blackface because he's the steam engine operator, and so he has stood all over his face.
So did someone explicitly say he has hemorrhoids, or does he like announce it? Like,
oh
or
no,
did he
he just
assumed?
This was just like an 8-minute scene where it clearly looked like he had hemorrhoids on a train.
Oh, I thought it was part of the plot.
No, not at all.
Like the important opening.
No, that's.
You almost sold me on that, so I could have a character I relate to in film.
Yeah, I was like, that's such an interesting way to start a movie. Like, give your main character hemorrhoids.
So Suit-Face Glover comes to chill with Depp after he like starts the steam engine, and he starts talking about boats, and Depp's like, "I'm from Cleveland, bro," and then Depp says he has a job in Machine, and Suit-Face Glover tells him that he's in hell, and then all the mountain people start shooting buffalo for literally no reason, just out the windows, and this really spooks Johnny Depp. And this part of this is the end of the Crispin Glover story. So
That's the end of the movie.
He's no longer in this movie. That was it. Yeah.
You make it sound like Johnny Depp like went down and like awkwardly tried to like hit on Crispin Glover.
Oh no,
he was like, "Nah, I got a job to do."
It was actually the complete opposite.
Oh, Crispin Glover was trying to get with Depp.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So the
That
town
probably happened in real life.
It could have. No.
That probably did.
The town of Machine is pretty awesome. There's like thousands of skulls everywhere of like cow skulls and buffalo and stuff like that. People just grunt at Depp instead of like saying hello or anything. And then we see a big donkey dick just pissing. That's one of the scenes. It's taking a big leap.
I just imagine Static X plays the whole time you're in that town.
So, not Static X, but the whole movie. Okay, so there's like 2 hours of this movie, and 45 minutes. No, 45 minutes is just like a guitar solo, like throughout the whole movie. Every time something happens or a scene ends, it ends with a guitar solo and everything going dark. And I swear, I counted how many cuts there were, and there's at least like 50 cuts in the movie where it just goes to dark and it plays a guitar solo. It sounds like Alice Cooper.
What kind of guitar solo?
Kind of like Alice Cooper, or like something like The Doors almost. It's just it's like a combination of that. Let's see. Oh, and the suit that Johnny Depp's wearing looks like a FUBU suit from the late 90s, like the ones I used to wear to high school. 100% it looks like that. It's fucking weird.
Johnny Depp is wearing FUBU?
Yeah. Yeah, it's in black and white, so like you can just kind of see the pattern. So next...
I'm trying to think of what a Native American wigger would be called.
Oh, wow.
Wait, would those even exist, or...
I don't know. What's the equivalent? No, I mean like a white guy, like who's pretending to be Indian, pretending to be black.
Oh my god!
Because that's what this is,
right?
Oh,
white guy pretending to be Indian.
No, not at all.
Oh, I thought he was Indian.
No. Sort of something like he hangs out with an Indian, so not really, but kind of.
Oh, so that's it. So it's like the reverse of Lone Ranger.
I actually never saw that, even though I own it on Blu-ray.
I've never seen this. I just seen a cover and he looked like an Indian.
No, it's because the Indian eventually like puts like Indian writing on his face, and he goes on an adventure and stuff.
Okay, now we know. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
And another thing,
Yeah.
another thing. Like, is it all in black and white? Because all I know is the poster.
Yeah, it's all in black and white. It's really well shot. It makes the
Okay.
film like a little bit better because it just seemed it would be boring if it wasn't in black and white somehow. So, next we
I don't get that theory, but all right.
next we meet John Hurt, and John Hurt tells Depp to fuck off and that he's late for the position that he has a job for, and then everyone laughs at him. But Depp insists on talking to John Hurt's boss, and everyone laughs at him again. So he ends up meeting the boss, and his name, Robert Mitchum, is the character, who's very old now. And
Robert Mitchum is in this movie.
Yeah, he's the big boss man kind of guy.
Who's that?
He's a character. He's an actor from like the 50s and 40s.
50s, yeah.
I don't know if he's in something I would know, but
what was that? Yeah, no, I can't name anything you might know.
He's in a ton of shit, basically. So
you guys are so excited for somebody you don't know.
He plays this guy.
Well, he's in every fucking 50s movie I've ever seen, really. I think so.
Yeah, what's the name of that Charles
many
Laughton
50s
movie where he plays the guy who like marries the woman just to take all her stuff, and then the kids are like against it, and then he like kills the woman, and then tries to kill the kids, and they run across the countryside, and he like tries to hunt him down.
I have no idea, but it sounds fun.
Oh, it is an amazing movie.
Is Robert Mitchum in it?
Directed. Yes, he's the bad guy.
Maybe I should watch that movie. Oh, he's the bad guy here too. He's a good bad guy then.
Yeah. If I was better, I would remember the name right now.
So Robert Mitchum points a shotgun at his face and he tells him he's wearing a clown suit, and then everyone laughs at Johnny Depp again. So he's just being laughed at. So Depp is like kind of, he's upset that he couldn't find this job that he came all the way out to Machine for. So he tries to buy a bottle of alcohol, but he can only afford a very small one. And the bartender is a very sad-eyed Steve Buscemi, who has only about like 2 seconds of screen time. But you can tell it's
people in it.
Yeah, you can tell it's Steve Buscemi because of his fucking really sad eyes. So.
Because you can always tell who Steve Buscemi
but
is.
He had a giant like beard and a goatee. He looked awesome. I wish he had that look more often.
I could see Steve Buscemi in blackface, and I would know it's Steve Buscemi.
So while
this cast reminds me of another like late '90s movie I watched, where like everybody was somebody, but they were like B-listers of the '90s. I know. It was like Elijah Wood was a hitman. Of course, Michael Rappaport was in there.
I love Michael Rappaport.
Of course.
God,
he's terrible. Stop it.
I'll come back to this I'll look it up and we'll come back to this.
So he ends up meeting a very attractive former whore. Like she is very pretty. So pretty, I don't know why she's in this movie. Like she's just
she's not anybody.
Dead. She's I think somebody, but not that I would know. She invites Depp into her room, and instead of having sex, Johnny Depp immediately starts commenting on how nice the flowers are in her apartment. And
I'm picturing her as Sharon Stone. Is that fair?
Not really. Like I guess less muscular, more like feminine, and I think she was a redhead, but like I can't tell in black and white. Yeah, I know TJ would. Yeah, I knew immediately. I went, that's TJ. But also this scene actually reminds me of TJ too, because Johnny Depp immediately knew what kind of flowers it was, and he's like he picked up the flower and went, "This is a rose. They're made out of papers."
Okay, it's not that hard of a fucking flower to decipher.
Rose?
Yeah, like what the hell?
Well,
I'm retarded. Like I can see a fucking rose and know what it is.
And you're aware that I'm not actually a botanist, right? Like last episode I said that you can't make a bouquet of
well, let's not
orchids,
start this again.
Which was very wrong. It's actually one of the traditional bouquets for weddings.
This is my fault.
I hate you, Mike.
I'm sorry.
I hate you so much. Piece of shit.
He does. So Johnny Depp then asks her why she has a gun, and I'm not kidding. She literally says, "Because this is America," and I let out a little whoop.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and then Gabriel Bryan runs in with a gift. But he has pie in his face because Deb's they're having sex with Johnny Depp, and so she's clearly left him for Johnny Depp. And then boom, Gabriel Bryan ends up shooting her in the boob, and her boob starts leaking blood like a faucet does. It's very weird blood. And then Depp, while he was hiding behind the covers, he takes her gun and shoots the guy whose name is Charlie. and so he shoots. So the two people end up dead. 30 minutes in so far, and no Indians. But fortunately, like right as I wrote this, we meet our first Indian, and he's helping Johnny Depp get the bullet out of his chest because Johnny Depp ran away. He stole a horse, and then he passed out in the wild somewhere. And it's you guys seen the pictures. It's a very, very fat Indian who calls Depp a very stupid white man, which I concur. And then he robs him because I guess he's an Indian. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yeah, they had a lot of trouble with that. Whenever this took place.
Like 1880s probably or something. Turns out Charlie is Robert Mitchum's son, so the dead guy Charlie. And so Mitchum hires Lance Henriksen and two other killers to kill him.
Yes! Oh man, you may have just won me.
And so Robert Mitchum has this really cool monologue in this old Western drawl, except he stands in front of a picture of himself looking badass that's like 6 foot tall, and so it's really awesome. It's just him talking for like a minute, hiring the crew. And the rest of the movie is
funny.
Go ahead.
Is I have Lance Henriksen's biography.
Oh,
like I bought it when I met him. Now I want to go back and see if he talks about this. Like I just want to know what he thought about this movie. To see if you're right, Mike.
The rest of the movie is just them basically back and forth between the three killers and then Johnny Depp and the fat Indian. So we go back to Depp, and the fat Indian again calls him a stupid white man. And so anyway, the Johnny Depp is just kind of recovering from a bullet wound while the Indian starts like voodoo talking and stuff like that. And then he gets freaked out when
I don't think Indians practice voodoo.
Well, I don't know what they practice. I didn't.
Yeah, that's culturally insensitive. Michael.
What do they practice when they talk to their spirits?
Not voodoo.
You know what? I watched that one movie, Altered States.
Okay.
And I think they practiced taking a lot of peyote and seeing goats crucified.
Oh, gee, that doesn't sound like that's true at all. I think
that's
my voodoo comment is more culturally sensitive than what you just said.
That their religion is peyote and hallucinations of crucified
goat torture. So the Indian kind of freaks out when Johnny Depp tells him that his name is William Blake. But we don't learn that till later. William Blake is apparently like an English poet, and so the Indian guy went to England because he was stolen, and he learned poetry, and William Blake was his favorite poet. So this is kind of why he's helping William Blake for the rest of the movie. He thinks he's a famous poet.
So he thinks it's the actual one?
Yeah, he thinks it's the actual William Blake. No, he's just some guy.
Okay.
He's a banker.
Oh, he's just
something.
some other William Blake. Okay.
Mm-hmm. They didn't have many
William
names back
Blake
then.
Bloke.
Exactly. So next we learned that Lance Henriksen once fucked his parents. That's the whole story. Yeah.
My man.
Also, he ate them. So he killed them. He fucked them, and then he ate them.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why we're told this story, but we are.
He rules.
You shouldn't do that.
No.
Can I give a fun fact about Lance?
Please.
Oh.
He's the only man who's went up against Terminators, Pumpkinheads, aliens, and Predators.
Wow, the Pumpkinheads really solidifies things.
Exactly.
So the fat Indian tells...
I guess Johnny Depp's
now, too, and an Indian. Many things. So the fat Indian tells Depp to replace his tongue with his gun and to write poetry with his blood, which I think is a really good advice. And we also learned the Indian guy...
No, it's not.
I think it's pretty good for like 1800s...
That's not good life advice for me. No, thank you.
Well, it'd be good if this was like 200 years ago.
Creativity lies.
And we also learned that the Indian guy's name is Nobody. That's his white name, I guess.
His
Nobody.
white name is no butt?
Nobody. Like nobody? Nobody?
Oh.
Nothing?
I thought you said no-bot.
No bot? No, nobody. I have dry mouth. I think I should take
Yeah,
some
no one
sips.
can understand you. Like,
All
no
right, so,
butt. This movie's funky.
So Lance Henriksen shoots one of his... It's Lance
Lance what?
Henriksen and...
Henriksen?
Maybe I should
Lance Hammockson.
Lance Henriksen.
I have dry mouth every time we shoot. I don't know what
No,
to do
you
about
never
it.
pronounce people's... You mispronounce John Stamos.
You're right. I think I just get excited. I get excited to talk, and then I just squeal. I squeal people's names.
When I re-listened to the one episode with the Stamos thing, and he just kept saying Stamos and Stamos.
What was the other one? Stamos?
Stamos.
Yeah,
Stamos.
Wait, what is his name? John
Everything.
Stamos. Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah, no, you can say it.
Episode later.
Now try Lance Henriksen.
All right, so let's try it again. Lance Henriksen.
You fucking idiot.
What's the problem?
Well, you don't listen to the show, so you'll never know. Move on.
Oh, jeez. All right. So anyway, he shoots one of his assassin friends, and then he calls him a Navajo mud toy, which I think is racist. But
yeah.
But wait,
that's the first thing you said that you think is racist.
on further research, Henriksen ends up. I googled what it means, and like his name is what pops up like as the second search, and it's apparently like what Arizona Indians call clay toys, but that's still probably a little racist. So.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So let's see what happens next. Oh yeah, then the Indian does drugs and steals Depp's glasses and runs away. And while Depp is sadly and quietly looking for him, he shouts his name. He's like, nobody, except he's not shouting. He's kind of like whispering it. I don't know what his problem is. So while he's looking for him, two marshals come up and they're hunting for them too. Because they're going to get paid like $500, because there's a bounty on his head. And then like the coolest line comes up next. And he's like, so Johnny Depp walks up on him and he's like, hey, do you guys know my poetry? And then he shoots him in the gut. So I guess he took nobody's advice, and I thought that was cool. So they're dead. He just killed two cops, or marshals, or whatever they're called. And then afterwards, Henriksen shows up, and he pops the dead guy's head like a watermelon for absolutely no reason. I guess he hates the police too. Like he just puts his foot on the guy's head and just like, and then squeezes it until it pusses. Yeah,
that's a lot of power behind that.
He is a powerful human being, apparently.
That sounds like one of Lance Henriksen's best roles. So next, Henriksen also kills his other assassin friend and deep fries his hand and eats it. Like his hand and like fingers wiggle while he eats it off his fried hand. It was a very strange scene. I don't know if he also fucked his friend after he killed him, like he did his parents, but they didn't show that. Maybe Lance talks about it in his book.
Angus will let us know later.
I blacked out an entire part where he ate and fucked his friend.
That
doesn't seem important.
I was really disappointed in this movie. I thought it was pivotal to the character that they showed me fucking the friend before I ate him. But they chose not to film that scene, and that was one of my most disappointing moments of my career.
I said to the producers, I'm Lance Henriksen, right? I demand fucking my friend in this movie and eating him.
So Depp and the Indian guy like split up, and so Depp's kind of like hanging out alone, and he finds a dead fawn and rubs its blood on his chest and takes a nap with it. He does all this instead of
in Beer Fest.
I guess I don't remember, so I'll just say yes, just like Beer Fest. Then
I just rewatched that. That movie holds up.
I haven't seen it in years, so
it's so good.
All right, then he finds
go watch Beer Fest now, everybody.
Then he finds
listen to the episode.
Stop the episode. Yeah, stop the episode right now. Go watch Beer Fest.
And then we can make Beer Fest quotes the rest of the episode, and everyone will get it.
Well, I won't get it, though. I'll be lost, so that'll be okay.
The fuck is that? That was my favorite.
So when he's alone,
we said for years we would always say, "I remember my first beer," and like I totally forgot it was from that movie.
Huh. Yeah, we did it forever. I still, and then when I rewatched it, it's funny because we used to joke that the one guy looked like you.
Yeah.
and now you look more like Will Forte. Because whenever you watch it, you totally look like him now instead of the other one. Because you look like the guy who's like, "What's wrong, Papa?"
Yeah, the one who got angry at the cuckoo clock.
Yes.
It's funny what age does to you. You turn into Will Forte.
Dude, if I look like Will Arnett, I'd be so happy.
Do I look like anybody? I'm sad I don't have a doppelganger.
You look like Big Show.
Lance Henriksen.
I'd be very happy to look like Heinrichsen. So they continue on their quest, which for Depp, I guess, is to stay alive, and for Nobody, he really just wants tobacco. Like 10% of this movie is just Nobody wanting tobacco. He's been wanting it all movie. And they keep asking. Everyone keeps asking. That's like a running gag. They keep asking Johnny Depp. He's like, "Hey, you got any tobacco?" And Johnny Depp's like, "No, I don't smoke." That's it. There's no like.
Is it that hard to find tobacco?
Apparently, it's like a trading good. I guess I don't know.
Oh, you don't always die from tobacco.
It's true. It takes a while. So they meet a priest who tries to kill Depp, and he dies too. And Depp has killed a lot of men
just
now.
for trying. He drops dead.
No, well, he shot him in the chest. First he stabbed him in the arm, and he's like, "You can't kill me!" Boom. So he's up to like
dead.
8 dead people now. Nobody steals some tobacco from the dead priest. So he has he found his quest. He's good.
His arc is over.
And so every time Johnny Depp gets shot, which this is I think the 3rd time now, Nobody says something like, "Collected more of that white man's metal, I see," which I find awesome. That's like his go-to line.
That's a cool line.
This time, he was shot by a guy in the bushes. Let's see. The final battle comes up next, or is coming soon. Countdown. But
the final countdown.
But first, it's preceded by a very relaxing canoe chase because they're on a canoe. So Henriksen is now also on a canoe, and they're going down the river while a few songs. The Indian sings a bunch of songs, kind of like TG's doing right now. It's almost exactly like that. And then and Depp just naps because he's been shot the whole time. Yeah.
I want to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. When you said the movie goes black and has the guitar solo, now I'm just imagining it's a final countdown.
Oh my god!
And then that's when it fades to. I want to do a fan edit of that so fucking badly now.
It happens every 3 minutes. It's amazing. That would be amazing if you did that. Because it's the same guitar solo every fucking time, so it would make just as much sense.
What Angus said, when you said the movie went black and started talking about guitar solos, I totally thought he was going to make a Living Colour reference. The Cult of Personality, the black rock band.
Yeah. Go black. All right, that was good.
Yeah, they were black and they had guitars.
It took me a minute, but
it took you a minute for those 30 years to catch back up, so you didn't know what the fuck I was talking about.
I was going through every possibility.
30-year-old one-hit wonder.
Well, the joke of that is hey, you listen to black metal, right? What's your favorite band? Then you say Living Colour.
I didn't know that was a joke.
That's a good one.
That's been a thing for a while.
So the very, very last part of the movie is Nobody takes him to an Indian village, and the Indian village kind of looks like downtown Miami. It's fucking disgusting.
Oh, no.
There's
people
no.
I don't want to go there.
Okay, we won't go there, but it looks disgusting.
Don't take me, bro.
And this is where the metal just goes. The guitar just goes off the rails. It is just nonstop guitar. While Johnny Depp just walks down the aisle there. So Nobody gets him a cool new canoe and sets him adrift into the ocean. Hey, I was really getting a pump from that. That was good. So he sets him adrift into the ocean and tells him he must go home. And then Depp says, "I don't want to go to Cleveland." And then Nobody tells him, no, he's actually going to die. And that's when Lance Henriksen shows up, and him and Nobody shoot each other with shotguns from 4 feet away. And then Depp dies on the canoe, and that's the end of the movie. I love this movie.
Of course you did. I was about to say, this sounds like a movie you would love.
Yeah, no, I fucking loved it.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
As soon as I knew it was black and white and Criterion, I was like, yeah, of course he fucking loved it.
If I may, I said I would get back to that movie that I didn't remember.
Oh, God.
Yes.
I couldn't let it go because it was called Chain of Fools, which was it was an average movie.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, well, so
no, I haven't.
Oh. And yeah, there's like hitmen and I don't know. It's a sort of comedy thriller thing. But here's the cast: you have Salma Hayek, Elijah Wood, Jeff Goldblum, Steve Zahn, Laura Flynn Boyle, Tom Wilkinson, David Cross, David Hyde Pierce, Orlando Jones, Michael Rappaport, and Craig Ferguson.
I'm in.
Yay!
Yeah, and it came out in 2000, and I do remember that each of them got a fair amount of screen time.
Cool.
So it's worth it for, like I said, seeing a bunch of, kind of B-list 90s people.
I love it.
I guess Jeff Goldblum's not B-list, but, everybody else. Why didn't I watch that? I guess
Jeff Goldblum does conventions now. Yes, he is.
Oh, okay.
He was also on my food podcast that I listened to, so yeah, he totally is.
Yeah.
He's on a food podcast?
Yeah, they talked about cheese and living in Los Angeles. It was weird.
I hope David Lynch is on a food podcast after that one video of him. Well,
I gotta take a
cooking?
Piss break.
He was cooking oatmeal, right? He just a real-time video of him cooking oatmeal, but in black and white with artistic angles.
I think you linked that to me.
I don't.
Yes, one of us linked that to one of the others. And it was just super... I couldn't watch all of it because it was just really weird and kind of off-putting. But all it was literally he's in his own kitchen just cooking oatmeal like a normal person would, except he's David Lynch, and he's telling you what he's doing, how to cook... David Lynch's How to Cook Oatmeal... But then it's also shot in black and white with angles.
Did any of you guys ever cook it like David Lynch or no?
No, I think it's oatmeal. You kind of cook like that. But I don't. He took 15 minutes to cook it. I don't.
For a special episode, I think we should all get our favorite director and cook oatmeal like they do. So you can have David Lynch. I'll see what Quentin Tarantino's doing. So we
study up and try to impersonate our favorite directors cooking oatmeal.
Yes.
How do we know? Because I don't know how many other directors have cooked oatmeal online for our viewing pleasure.
Well, no, I guess you study interviews from them and you just take it I mean, I feel mine might be borderline racist because I can't do a Chinese accent very well. So how would I be like John Woo? Yeah,
yeah.
We'll just tape your eyes back. It'll be fine.
First ingredient is...
The Angus is back there banging a gong just to be extra offensive. We'll be ready at sound of 10 gong. Bong. Bong. Now let loose dove. Bong.
This is a great idea.
Almost super happy oatmeal time.
Be sure to slide across table for a spoon. Bong. Oh, man.
All right, I think Angus watched the movie, too.
Sorry, I was drinking when you guys decided that we were back. What the fuck was that?
I thought you already opened your beer. What the hell?
I made it go off again.
Oh god, it's the same thing. I didn't even
alcoholic
notice.
beers right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a non-alcoholic beer now. Klaus Taylor. It's German.
Oh my god.
What?
It's pretty good. It's a little sweet.
I want one now.
I think I have 2 left.
Dude, for the next show, let's just drink just non-alcoholic beverages and just watch G movies.
PG movies, yeah.
Oh, that's a great theme.
That's a great idea, actually. Just children's, and it has to be non-alcoholic beer and children's movie.
I hate that idea, honestly. Do you know how many panic attacks I'll have during that?
Yeah. You know how much I'd have to cut? We would get bad.
It would be like a 13-minute podcast.
So this guy, he was running around like a big poopy head.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't curse either?
No, not at all.
G-rated, yeah.
Yeah, this is our G-rated episode.
A G-rated episode.
Okay, so...
It would have to be short.
Well, children usually are. Yeah, I hated that. My movie, motherfuckers. So what I chose was I went on YouTube and just put the fucking Native American movie, and I found one with a title that like enticed me. And the name of the movie was Dance Me Outside. So
I'm in already.
After reading that, like for the entire, like it was like last Sunday I think, and like the entire time like what's going through my head was that chick from the Dr. Phil show to Catch Me Outside. How about that?
Yeah, is it not some sort of like comedy? Like that's what I thought immediately. Like, is it made after that to like?
No, it was made in 1994. But the thing is, like after that, I couldn't stop doing like Indian dance man thing. So it's like, dance me outside. How about that? Like, and I'm just doing this all fucking day to myself.
Jump
about this.
it.
It's a professional Indian dancer. Like, hi, my name is Chief Dancing Bear, for I am the true dancing bear. I wish I'd bought the domain name.
I'm just picturing him like in the bar, like some guy's like talking smack, and like he's like, "Yeah, you don't really got moves." He's like, "Oh yeah, dance me outside."
Oh my god,
dance me outside. For my moves are great and powerful, like the mighty wind.
How about
Alright, so I was sold on that, but even before that, I was just like, alright, fuck it, let me check the Wikipedia and see what it's about. It says it's a Canadian Native American movie.
Alright.
So I'm really sold, because now I'm just doing Canadian Indian like voice the whole time.
Dance me outside, eh?
Eh? Instead of how, it's eh.
Eh. Sorry. Oh no.
This is my son.
Have we pissed off Canada yet?
This is my son, flying hockey puck. He soars across the dance floor as if he was hit by the great pale-faced Wayne Gretzky.
That's what this movie is about? This is awesome.
Yes, this is a great movie.
It's about this great dancing Indian and his son who got beat at hockey by Wayne Gretzky and now has a chip on his shoulder. He missed out on going pro because of Gretzky. Like they were both in like the minor league together, but Gretzky like injured him in what, like a pivotal game. And now he can't go into Major League Hockey. He missed out on NHL because of Gretzky.
So now he has to dance him outside in a dance contest.
Now he's stuck with his dancing dad, but like what he really wants to do is like skate.
For you will serve him, my young son.
His dad always just wanted him to dance, but he wanted to play hockey.
Fuck. I don't want to do this.
Okay, well then make up the movie. Make up this movie that we're telling.
It's so good. Because now, like, that movie sounds so much better than what I'm gonna lay on you.
It's not like we've got millions of listeners and these people are gonna go in droves to watch Dance Me Outside on YouTube and then come back and tweet us like we're a bunch of fucking liars that we are. Just make this shit up. Mike does half the fucking time.
Fuck you.
It's true. Now I'm just... fuck. Alright. My movie. It truly begins. There's shitty paintings of birds. And then all of a sudden, like, one of the birds turns real. And then there's this kid with long hair in the middle of the road, and he's trying to get the, like, raven. It's a crow or a raven? It's a blackbird, so I'll say raven. Crow?
Ravens are big.
They're both black.
It was pretty
Ravens
big.
are considerably larger than crows.
Very big.
A big black crow? BBC? shit. Anyways, he tries to get it to smoke with him, and then the fucking bird bites him. And this is...
And then he turns into a bird, and this is a bird movie.
A bird that plays hockey with a dancing dad.
This movie is so awesome. I want to watch it right now. I'm voting for my shit. All right, so our main man's name is Silas Coyote.
Whatever.
And he wants to go to, like, his whole thing is, like, him and his best friend want to go to mechanic school. And they keep, like, talking about, like, oh, we're going to get in. I know we will.
Wait. And you might not get into a vocational school?
That's what I'm saying. Like, throughout this whole movie, they're, like, making it sound like they're trying to get in. Yeah. Like, mechanic school is their fucking Yale, I guess. To change oil, you need a fucking 4-year degree.
Yeah, those Ivy League pep boys.
That fucking got me. Alright, shit. So his friend
I say,
is,
what are you doing with that carburetor?
Eh? Don't forget, we're Canadian here. You got A. For your car runs slower than molasses. Alright. His fucking friend Frank is wearing a Metallica shirt, so he's a little rock guy. Like, and our guy is dressed like... Fuck, I think I wrote it later in the list, but... Anyways, like, they're both, like, kind of rockish guys. Like, everybody in this movie looks like they love to rock.
All right, so we got Frankie
at least
and
everybody
Wile
that's an
Coyote, and they love to rock.
Yeah. All right.
They
go into vocational
hate Wayne
school.
Gretzky.
And go to vocational schools with
They're
Wayne
going
Gretzky.
to Harvard Tech.
All right, we're 3 minutes into the movie, and the kid's already on his third cigarette, which isn't healthy.
Oh, he's dead
guy
now.
pulls.
This is 24 years.
Of course he is.
Dead. All right.
Guy on a motorcycle shows up, and he's looking for the kid inside a bar, and he says he's looking for the one looks like his mother is a butt licker. And his brother...
I don't think I've ever heard that before.
Me either. It's such a great line. He's like, I'm looking for the one whose mother is a butt licker, whose brother is retarded, and then he's ugly. And the him calling him ugly comment just angered this guy enough to drop his cigarette finally.
I thought you were going to say drop his pants.
He's just like, you got me a butt licker, bro. Come on. Check out this hemorrhoid I got. My Native American hemorrhoids.
Can you lick it?
Nobody will lick it like you. Alright, so after that, he drops a cigarette, they stare each other down, and then they just hug. The one dude, he just got out of jail, and he's pissed off because the guy that, our guy Silas, his sister married like a Jew fucking white man lawyer, and he's pissed off about that.
I just about
why can't he be a mechanic?
The way he said he's pissed off because she married a Jew. I just spit all over my mic.
Well, the funny thing is, like, they never implied he was Jewish. I just naturally assumed he was Jewish. So my own insecurity went in there, like, dating a Jew. Anyways, yeah, he's mad about that. There's, they got the motorcycle in the back of the truck, and one of the guys is, oh, hey. Okay, it's, shit, it's right here. Go. the thing's still in the outlet. Hi. I'm still back on the show.
Hi, Jesse.
Mike says hi.
Welcome
TJ
to the show. Did
hi.
you watch a movie?
Did you watch a movie?
About Native Americans?
She's just shaking her head. She's terrified.
Oh.
All right.
Well, sorry, fans. You don't get to hear
Indians
Jesse.
aren't that scary, Jesse.
They're not. What? They are people, too, okay? Get out of here with your racist beliefs.
Oh, I heard you slightly mumble. I bet we'll hear this really well on Angus's recorded track. We can't hear it right now, but we'll hear it later.
Okay. Go. I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm sorry to them. Fuck you.
Hey, did you show her how to export the audio?
Yes,
to
yes,
MP3?
she knows in case of my death how to do it. Yes,
because
yes.
I showed my wife as well. We still haven't
Yes.
figured out what to do with Mike. I guess I just have to drive over to his house if he dies on episode, and then I'll call the police.
Mm-hmm.
Or call his fucking. I don't know. I got nothing.
And
Anyways,
I think what works
I'm
is
so
because,
distracted. Fuck.
I was gonna say it would be okay because
angry.
if the cops are like, well, why did you do this thing with this recording first? We'll have the audio, and I'll be like, Mike, are you dying? He'll be like, yes, save the recording. And it'll be like there. He'll be like, well, I was justified to prioritize this over his corpse. Anyway,
back to the movie.
Yeah,
I have no fucking clue where I am. They're on the
Just make it
motorcycle in the
up.
back of the truck. They're on the back of a truck on the motorcycle driving. The guy's like, yeah, and there's metal music playing, and that comes into play later. He was kind of headbanging like it was that.
Back of my Dracula. I want to die to that song.
We've always talked about
I
that
think
being
you
the
stopped
best,
drinking alcohol
suicide
just
song.
now. Jesus.
All right,
Non-alcoholic
so they're
beer's going
driving.
straight to his head.
God damn it. I'll never get a word out. These girls are walking by, and then they see the criminal guy, and they're like, oh shit, that's the guy who just got out of jail. Let's go meet him. There's these 4 chicks, right? And they're all excited. One of them is apparently Silas's girlfriend. He says, hey, that's my girlfriend over there. And the guy's like, nice. But the funny thing is, there's these 4 girls, and 3 of them are talking. And the one that they don't give any dialogue to for the entire movie is the fat one.
Oh.
She doesn't get to say a fucking word. But the other girls have full-on conversations, and she's just sitting there shaking her head.
Is she like grotesque, or is she just pretty with weight?
No, she's big. Big.
Maybe she doesn't
Poor
like
girl.
criminals. That's why she's not talking.
Yeah, she's got better morals than that.
Yeah,
she's
she
just
does.
I don't like this. This is where my friends
This
took
guy's a
me.
rapist. Why are you guys?
Yeah. I ain't talking to him. Nope, no way. Hey.
I was like, why does she talk like that? Then you said, hey. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got confused too. I was like, wow, they're really hanging out with a different kind of woman here. And then you brought it all back around. I love it. All right, so the white Jew lawyer comes with the sister, up there to meet the family, and the mother's angry because they don't have babies, and then there's this whole whispering thing, and it turns out he has a low sperm count because they're talking in Indian to each other. And then it's revealed that the one guy, Silas, he actually does have a real retarded brother.
Oh.
And
I bet this movie handles that with care.
Oh yeah, totally. When the retarded child comes out, not even child, he's like 16, 17, and he just comes out flapping his arms like a bird because he takes his name too seriously.
Like a crow or a raven?
I don't know.
Probably a raven because he's bigger.
Oh,
Whichever one does it in circles. Like a one-winged bird.
He's a seagull. I don't know.
Just like the one-winged dove sings a song. Sounds like he's singing.
Dude, a seagull, he
baby,
can fit an entire fish in his bottom jaw because it protrudes out so much.
I wish I could just spout out stupid bird knowledge right now to piss you guys off.
We start a bird podcast next.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it, I hate that so much.
Let's move on here.
Yeah, no, fuck you. Alright. They're at the bar drinking and stuff, and Silas and Frank go out to the car to drink some of their own shit. And what they're drinking is they open up a thing, a bottle or a can called soda cola. And that's what they're pouring their alcohol into, is a can that says soda cola.
I thought their like secret stash was soda cola.
No. Like... That's really a brand in Canada, I guess, is they're that uncreative as they call their brand soda cola.
All right.
So that was funny to me.
When you walk down to the local grocery mart, copyright. Get yourself a soda cola. Trademark.
Soda cola. All right, there's this guy inside. Well, this guy like shows up in like a van, and he's basically like a young, rude punk James Gunn. Like that's what he looked like and reminded me
pedophile?
of. And yes.
He's not been convicted yet.
Neither was OJ.
Alleged.
He's still a killer.
Alleged. We just know he likes his own merch. Alright, so he's like fucking with them in their car and stuff, and he comes out with this guy who looks like every every guy that we went to... No, shut up. Every guy that we went to school with who you know is just gonna grow up to shave their head and get a head tattoo.
Oh,
but a shitty mustache. Yeah. Like, you know the guy. Like, you, when I'm explaining this, you picture that kid as like a 25-year-old with those horrible life choices.
Yeah.
Like, they're friends, I guess, so they're fucking with the Indians. And now we're back in the bar, and there's a... this is the weirdest part, is it's a band of Native Americans playing country music, and, like, it sounds just like a fucking George Strait song. It's... but it's like the fucking Indian Native American people you've ever seen. The big guy that was in jail, his name is Gooch.
Oh.
And...
like everything's Gucci.
Yeah.
I'll never say that again in my life, so help me God.
Thank you.
That was really bad. So a girl asks rude James Gunn to dance me outside. And he goes with her. And then I got the line that Frank and Silas keep talking about mechanic school like it's Yale. Now the skinhead throws his drink on Gooch, and Gooch leaves. He's like the bigger man. He's like, I'm not going to do this. So then Frank comes over and headbutts the guy, and then there's just a giant brawl in the bar, and everybody's fighting and stuff. And then Silas's girl is all pissed off, and then she leaves him and says, like, I'm done with you. We're done forever. It's the next morning, and Silas and Frank are on a boat, and they're just riding around. They have hangovers and stuff. They're like, dude, hangover, blah, 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 I'm not doing it. They find a dead girl.
Oh, no.
And now the narration begins to tell the story of everyone going their separate ways.
Stand By Me, how about that?
It's 100% Indian Stand By Me. Like, that's exactly what I thought, too, is like Indian Stand By Me. How about that?
Hey.
All right, so he like in the story it explains them all going their separate ways, like the end, and like you see them like go into like fading. No, they don't do that. But like why he's broken up with his girlfriend. The only one he still kind of sees is Frank. Anyways, they find out like the chick was killed by a white guy. And the Indians are all pissed off because he was only charged with manslaughter and only got 2 years in jail. It was rude James Gunn who did it, of course. And then Silas and Frank, like, they're like, all right, we'll get our vengeance. We're going to destroy this white guy's car. Not James Gunn's car, just some white guys that were there.
That's racist.
And then
that is racist.
It is. It really is. But then they ended up ruining the wrong car. They ruined the Indian guy who is giving the lecture on why they should have rights.
Oh.
And then it's just like, what? Zoinks. And then the white guys who were supposed to, like, they were going to destroy the car gave the Indian guy whose car they broke apart a ride.
Oh.
So, yeah. Over a year, the mom's still mad because she has no grandchildren.
Well, that's a hell of a jump.
Just wrote... Yeah, I just wrote angsty people. I guess they were all being angsty because, it's been a year and everybody's whatever. So now they're taking Silas's white Jew brother-in-law to the woods to give him, a special ceremony to, indoctrinate him into the Indian culture. But they're obviously fucking with him. It's, obvious from the get-go.
They're going to give him too much peyote and he's going to see those crucified goats.
Yes. No. Yes, they start, They put this fake headband on him and shit, and they're like, give your fucking Indian name and animals shit. And then at the end they tell him to strip, because that helps him get back to his naturistic ways. And they make him strip to Come and Get Your Love.
This really is James Gunn.
Yes, it all ties back together. It's pretty cool. So in the middle of that, he's stripping to that, and then it goes to Gooch, and he's fucking the dude's wife.
No!
Yeah, at first she doesn't want it, but then she totally wants it. But my favorite thing about this scene...
Consensual rape? What?
Yes.
What?
We all know what that is.
Oh, yeah.
No, she's like, no, and then she's like, I shouldn't be doing this, and then just starts fucking him, that whole thing.
Okay.
But my favorite part about this scene is Gooch looks like Native American Tommy Wiseau. He's wearing the same outfit that Tommy wears, and he looks like he has the hair, he has the facial structure, just darker skin.
That's weird.
So now the Jew lawyer is in the thing, in the woods, naked and painted up, yelling, "I am the Wolverine!"
Did he really say that?
Yes, he just keeps yelling that he's the Wolverine. Which is kind of cool, because, the Wolverine is Canadian, so...
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
This man had the animanium in his blood, it's him, he's fucking the Wolverine, I get it. I don't remember him being a lawyer, but... So now they're all...
I'm sure there's an arc somewhere.
Yeah, his brother's the Jew, not him.
I mean, he lived forever, that's gotta be an arc, yeah.
Glad you laughed.
So him and the Indian kids are all now yelling and carrying torches throughout town while Gooch is banging the sister. And when Gooch is banging the sister, there's music playing in the background, but it's that music that plays during a cop's funeral in a movie.
Amazing Grace on bagpipes?
Yes, that's what it is. Yes, that's 100% what it was. I didn't know what it was, but yes, the bagpipe, everything.
What? That's fucking absurd.
Yeah, it was the weirdest thing. There's... why the cop funeral song? Alright, White Killer is free.
Yay.
And now all...
Oh, wait, no.
All
the...
Whatever.
The Indian kids are planning to kill him now, and... The first... This is my favorite part of the thing, is, they're planning to kill him, because the thing that the white guy wants to do as soon as he gets out of prison is go to the Indian town to attend their local dance party.
Huh.
Which,
what, did he miss it in 8th grade because he was locked up?
If you were, in jail for killing an Indian, would you go to their town to go to the local dance?
I mean, if I kill a white person, I would still hang out with white people afterwards.
It depends not in
the town you killed them. They don't like you.
I don't know. I didn't grow up in Canada.
You can't hang out with minorities anymore after you kill one? That's rude. That's not right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't think that's the way it works.
All right.
So Mike's a strong proponent for forgiveness from hate crimes after time served.
I wasn't aware we were talking about a hate crime. Was it a hate crime?
He was a white man killing the Indian, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, did he kill him because he's an Indian?
I'm sure she did something Indian like that pissed him off.
Oh. I don't know. We'll look into it later.
Okay, let's look up the statutes.
Canadian Indian hate crimes. Oh, we're going to get some weird ads after that one, Googling it. Alright, so now they're all in the woods with guns, and they're playing to kill the guy. They start practicing shooting, and then the retarded brother flips out because he hears the gunshots, and just starts swinging his arms violently. And then the Gooch says that the guns are too loud. We need to use knives because they're silent. And you go straight for the neck. So now we're at the bar. All the kids brought knives. The girls from the beginning are there. And the funny thing is that fat one that never got to speak is still wearing the same shirt from 2 years ago.
Oh my god.
All the other girls got new costumes except her.
At least she didn't gain any weight. That's nice.
That's true. Yeah, she stayed where she was at. Good. That is a good thing. All right, so the guys are walking in seriously until their two exes run in and start making out with them, and they get distracted. Then rude James Gunn comes in and buys them a beer. They tell him that they got hash, and Frank's trying to distract the cop and tells him about some fake crime that's happening out in the parking lot. So the cop goes out there, and Silas is pissing, and rude James Gunn comes in and asks if he can have that smoke now. So they go outside. Silas goes down to his boot and starts to pull out a knife, and then his girlfriend yells at him, and he's like, "Oh, God damn it." And then he has to go see the girlfriend, and then he cuts himself, too, in the process, and then rude James Gunn is just like, "Oh, man, this is stupid. I'm going back in." So he does. Silas goes back inside and is pissed off because Frank wasn't out there as part of the plan, because Frank was supposed to be out there. And there's still... What?
Where did Frankie go to Hollywood? Where was he?
No, I'm trying...
Oh, he was relaxing?
Relax.
In that club with the tigers?
Oh, God. Anyways, what I wrote is, they're still planning to got the bastard.
Oh, got the bastard, yeah.
Got the bastard. Got the bastard, eh?
Now they can't find him. The cop runs in.
Why did they got him?
No. They didn't get him. They plan on getting him, but they didn't got him.
They're planning to got
They're planning to got the bastard.
But they didn't got the bastard.
No, they're just planning.
Somebody better be got already. My movie had 17 deaths. This so far has one.
Quite
and it was off screen,
when you don't
I think.
Got the bastard, and you really wanted
better
to
got the bastard. I hope everyone dies in a nuclear explosion.
Fuck me.
Canada have nuclear weapons?
If it was Lance Henriksen, he would have got the bastard.
He would have got them all, yeah.
Yeah.
Lance Hendrickson can get any bastard he wants. And don't you fucking forget it. Alright. So they head outside. I can tell when I started drinking heavily during these notes. The head outside of the guys in being arrested.
This is why I always...
head outside of the got the bastard when he was arrested.
That's why I always rewrite my notes. Come on, man.
Rude James Gunn is dead with a slit throat. Jew lawyer says he can't take him. He's his brother. They make all the guys strip at the station, and then Gooch comes in, like they're bringing Gooch in, and he just beats up the entire police force in the city.
Gooch.
Yeah!
Gooch is like wearing fucking the handcuffs, and he just somehow beats up the entire station. And then eventually, like, I guess somebody got him, because then the police send the guys home in their underwear. And Silas goes home to see his girl, and she's just crying her eyes out. And then he is like, all right, take your clothes off. And she starts to take her clothes off, right? And then he throws her clothes into the fireplace. Turns out they were covered in blood. And she's covered in blood.
Oh, I know what happened.
And she said she had to kill him to save him because she knew what he was going to do.
She got the bastard!
She got the bastard. So now there's a little epilogue. They're back together. Jew brother-in-law and sister have a child. Gooch is getting out of the prison soon, and Frank is in mechanic school in Montreal.
Huh?
And now there is a black crow on the road. The end.
So
it took him a lot of long years to get into that mechanic school.
Right?
It's like 4 years.
It was 3 fucking years.
I've got to be completely honest. I kind of missed a huge chunk of your movie because I was imagining the movie that we made up where the dad is a dancer and the son wants to play hockey, but he was slayed by Wayne Gretzky. And so, of course, later in the movie, he has a chance encounter with Gretzky, and Gretzky has a heart-to-heart with him about like the situation, and what happened, and it makes the son put his hockey playing into a new light, and he realizes that really, when he's in the hockey, all that aggression is just like his anger against his dad lashing out, and that's why he's so into the hockey, is because it's a release, it's a cathartic for his bad relationship with his dad. So he goes back and he's able to patch up the relationship with his dad, and he finds what he really loves is actually a compromise, and he goes into figure skating. So he still has the ice, but he has the dancing as well, and it's beautiful.
Does anybody die in this movie?
No.
God damn it.
Yeah, they didn't got the bastard in this movie that I made up in my head while Angus was talking.
They got the Gretzky.
Yeah, they got the bastard. They got the Gretzky in there. He didn't die, but they actually have Wayne Gretzky.
Got him to the Gretzky would be a good name.
I can't say Gretzky after a couple
got
years.
him to the Gretzky.
I'm doing a mic. Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky.
Can I just say something?
Yes.
If at the end of this, if we vote for TJ and I's like fake movie, do we both win? Because I'm loving this.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan.
Right now, I'm voting for that fake movie because Lance Henriksen makes a cameo as the kid's coach.
Yes. I fucking love it.
I'm not a fan.
And he's super upset that the kid leaves the minor leagues, but he understands. Like, he's supportive for the decision, but he's really upset because he is the best player on that team, even though he's never going to make it to the majors now.
Well, Lentz is a good guy. That's what he does.
Yes. Oh, man. And this movie would still be called Dance Me Outside.
I like Got Me to the Gretzky better.
Got to the Gretzky?
Yeah, I think I do like that more. Got into the Gretzky. We have to spell the name slightly wrong so we don't get sued by Wayne and his estate.
Gretzky.
Wait, he's not dead? Why am I saying his estate?
Is he dead?
No, he's alive.
No,
he's got a really hot daughter, too.
I don't know. Oh, okay.
He does have a hot daughter.
All right, so it's my turn to talk about my movie. The movie I watched is Road to Paloma. It's about a Mojave Native American.
What's a Mojave?
Mojave? What?
Yeah, what's a...
Was I supposed to learn something this episode? Because I
motherfucker, I don't know.
New Mexico. He's a New Mexico Native American.
Okay. I knew what mine were. Mine were fucking Canadian.
Okay, they're in New Mexico and it's dusty.
Mine were Arizonians.
Sure, it might be Arizona. It's
on the Road to Mother?
Written and directed by a man with native Hawaiian ancestry. That's why I got the Hawaiian beer. Okay. That's Jason Momoa. It's his directorial debut.
Really? No, really?
Yes, Jason Momoa starred and directed in this movie. And I gotta say, he's actually a pretty good director. Too? Yeah.
When was this made?
I want to say 14? Gosh, now I gotta look it up. 14 maybe 16
years ago, maybe?
Yeah, 14 years ago. 2014. Or when
he was 14.
Yeah, 2014. No, it came out in 2014. So this is 4 years old now.
That's
weird. Yeah, he's actually a pretty good director. He's got good angles, good lighting. Actually, it opens up on this huge sun. Everything's very bright and very yellow, and you see him working on a fence in silhouette against basically the sun takes up all of the background of the screen, and you feel the heat.
Was there any pink? Is there any pink in the sun? I really like when the sun's pink.
So it's a desert movie, so it's primarily yellow. So he really emphasizes the heat of
Understandable.
There's a huge sun and soft blues, not jazz, blues are playing as he's building this fence. And there's a ton of smoking. Kind of like Angus said, his person smoked 3 cigarettes in the first whatever minutes. Yeah,
they love cigarettes.
Yeah, Jason Momoa
mine had a yearning
of
smoke,
cigarettes.
but no smoking.
Yeah, the yearning.
Do you guys think this is why those Indian statues stand outside of cigar shops all the time?
Yeah,
they're just trying to get a secondhand smoke.
And then after he builds this fence, he gets on his motorcycle because he rides a motorcycle in this movie. And
my guys rode motorcycles.
He's got a lot of mournful guitar in this movie. No solos.
We all watched the same movie almost.
Just no solos, different time periods.
Mournful guitar. You see him offering he gets a smoke offering to his dead mom. And so it turns out that basically what happened was his mom, and you get little pieces of this throughout the movie, but his mom was raped and then killed in the family home.
No.
And so they knew who did it, but they were on the reservation.
Was it James Gunn?
No.
It's always James Gunn.
You never see the killer. But she died on a reservation, and he was a white guy who did not live on the reservation. And so it became a federal case, but the prosecutors didn't really care, and so the guy walked. And so Jason Momoa
did the same movie!
Yes.
So you just had a more handsome man in it!
Killed him. And now Jason Momoa is, in hiding. He's on the run.
Nice. Get your motor.
So he goes and visits his dad, who's actually a cop, and he wants to go on an indie movie road trip to put his mom's ashes up in a lake. Yeah, he wants to get his mom's ashes and put them at a lake that she loved. But his sister has the ashes, so he's got to get to his sister first.
I really hope the rest of the movie plays out like Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's a zany comedy.
Yeah.
And with mishaps and whatnot after this horrible fucking beginning.
So then we cut to an office in Washington, D.C., an FBI office. Where the FBI director, Lance Henriksen, not fucking kidding, it was Lance Henriksen.
No! Oh my god!
I hope it's the same character, too.
He's so old, too. He's so old. He's almost not recognizable as Lance Henriksen.
I met Lance Henriksen that year. He's very recognizable. Fuck you.
Okay, well, maybe not in this movie because he's so he is there and gone in this movie. But basically, Lance Henriksen says he doesn't trust the locals, so he sends one of his own FBI guys out there to hunt down Jason Momoa. So he goes out there, and this FBI guy meets the local dude who. I guess this is Chris Browning, who's some kind of TV person, but I never watched TV. He's from Sons of Anarchy, which means nothing to any of us, but somebody out there.
I watched Sons of Anarchy and loved it.
There's a new show coming out that's the director of that guy. It looks awesome. It's called The Mayans or something.
Yeah, it looks fucking great.
Great. I think it's the guy from Game of Thrones too. That the guy who died and came back and now is alive again. I forget his name.
See, I don't know Game of Thrones at all, but I loved Sons of Anarchy. I thought the whole series was great.
I can't.
Except season 3.
So this guy's Chris Browning, and he plays a character that's kind of what.
You say Chris Browning, I just imagine it's Chris Brown, but when he goes into a rage, he's Chris Browning and just starts beating women left and right. I'm Browning!
He plays a character that's kind of like a cross between you wouldn't like me when I'm browning.
Out of context, that sounds so horrible.
So what could that mean? So he plays a character that's kind of like a cross between Josh Brolin and Sicario and Brad Pitt in the late 90s. He's this kind of New Mexico semi-cowboy who just doesn't give a shit, really. So the FBI guy's there, and he's like, yeah, we looked around. I don't, whatever. And he's like, have you looked? Can we look in that trailer? He's like, yeah, what? Well, or where... the dude's trailer where he was killed. And he's like, yeah, go ahead. And then he has this line where he said, about Jason Momoa, he beat every bone in his body from his toes to his sternum. He turned him into a maraca. But I can't do his accent. He had like a southern accent, but I like that line. And so they're teamed up to hunt down Jason Momoa. Jason Momoa, meanwhile, goes to like some just shitty bar, and there's this shitty band playing that sounds kind of like a mix between Shitty Doors meets Shitty Danzig. And then the singer gets really fucking drunk and like gets in a fight with his band and gets thrown out of the band, and like he ends up just like crashing out drunk in an alleyway. And Momoa is there fixing his bike, I guess, all night long. He pulls an all-nighter to just work on his bike. And so they team up. This other guy, the singer's name is Cash. They decide...
Me outside?
Yeah, Cash, me outside. This guy's apparently nobody, but for half the movie, I thought it was that dude, Sebastian Stan, I learned later, the guy who plays Bucky in the Marvel movies.
Winter Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, so he looks like Winter Soldier, but he is absolutely not. He's just utter nobody. He's Robert Mullihan Fuck Off or something is his name.
That's a weird last name.
Yeah.
Is that native?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. He might be Mojave. So, the FBI guy and Browning visit this old guy who was a mechanic who fixed up Momoa's bike before he went on his indie movie road trip. And just the one thing that stood out in this scene was that the old guy's just like, nope, never heard of him. Nope, fuck off. Don't know, fuck off. And then they're like, well, you're parole. And he's like, but anyway, it was weird because like this movie's like, it's low budget obviously, but not bad. But this old man had horribly muffled audio. Actually, I wrote
kind of like Mike's.
Yes, I actually wrote old man muffled audio like he's on our show.
Yes.
So Momoa goes and like visits some people. I didn't remember the purpose of the scene. Just all I could like wrote down was because they're greeted by these really big, fat, enormous women, and Momoa says hello, nice. And then says, "Hey, Cash, why don't you entertain these ladies?" And then he goes and does like Native American stuff, and they have this like montage of just Native American
stuff. What, he
stuff.
gets drunk and smokes? What?
No, just like Native American indie film stuff. Like, just whatever. And they do speak Mojave, which I thought was a nice touch. You know, so there's subtitles here. Then Momoa and Cash move on. They're at a diner, and they're just like, Cash is eating a plate full of waffles, and Momoa's just, you know, having coffee. And then the guy comes from the check. For some reason, the guy who comes for the check, he looks like a really shitty Ray Liotta, and he talks like Joe Pesci, which I was like, what? This is like some random like New Mexico diner, and the dude talks like Joe Pesci. When they can't pay for the waffles. I can't do impressions, so I'm not even going to try.
God damn it. I wanted an impression so bad.
No, I'm tempted to, but I haven't had enough to drink to like...
Damn it.
Just degrade our show with that.
I'm going to yell at your family to take you to fucking Smoky Bones or whatever again.
I like
for every episode.
Okay. Wait. What do you mean you can't pay for the waffles? That's there.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I'm very remorseful of what I asked for.
So they do the dishes to pay for the waffles. And then Cash complains that he's got no cash. And Momoa's like, you want to make some money? And he's like, yeah. You want to make quick money? Yeah. And so they jump on their bikes and they ride. And they end up
got better with the voices. I'm happy.
They end up at a backyard wrestling match. Because what I didn't mention was this is a WWE Studios movie.
What?
Yes. So you see like this dude just punching a really, really big fat Native American. And then their fight ends.
Tatanka? Is it Tatanka?
No. I looked up afterwards because like there's this a big fight scene with Cash and the other guy for money. And I tried to figure out, because this guy like comes barreling out, and it's a really good fight scene. Where like they body slam each other. Cash picks up a propane tank and smashes the dude across the face with it. And he splashes blood. And I was like, this guy has to be a wrestler. But looking through the cast, I didn't see any name that I recognize. So he might be like a 2014 current, like low, C-list wrestler maybe.
Somehow me and Mike will know it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look through the list after your movie's done.
Yeah. Anyway, before that fight starts, Momoa goes up to like the main Native American dude, and one of his like henchmen who's sitting next to him has a "I fart in your general direction" shirt. Just like if I was Jason Momoa as the director, I think I might have said, "Let's change that shirt." It kind of breaks the scene a little. So anyway, they set up this fight, and Momoa is like, I don't know why, but he's like, oh, get him your best fighter, your very best fighter. I guess because he thinks Cash can fight, except he has no reason to believe so, because the first time he met Cash, he just got his ass kicked, and he was bleeding because someone broke a bottle over his head. So this guy...
One of my favorite things ever would be is if, like, when they said get the best one, and you just hear glass shatter. And then fucking... Stone Cold comes out, fucking chugging beers.
No, almost as good as chugging beer. The dude barges out of a trailer pulling his pants on.
All right.
So, I don't know if he was pooping or fucking, but the dude had his pants off, and someone said, "Hey, come fight!" And he's just like, "Brrr!" And then
Maybe he
Cash...
was getting a blumpkin.
Yeah, exactly. He's doing both. And Cash is like, "God damn, you're a big Indian." And the dude just fucking hits him in the mouth. And then that fight I already told you about with the propane tank and the body slams and
propane accessories.
Exactly, propane accessories. And they had this really awesome beatdown, which Cash ends up winning. So they get their cash. And then they hit the road, and Cash just has a leather vest on, and he still has because he had a bloody nose, so all the blood all over his face and blood all over his chest, and they're just a scene of them just riding down the road on their bikes with him just gratuitously bloody.
Bicycles or motorcycles?
Motorcycles.
Oh.
My bicycle.
Yeah. So they end up just kind of ended up at this gas station to kind of rest and work on their bikes. And Jason Momoa runs into this girl who needs some help with her car. This black girl with some nice dreads. So he decides, we're going to take a tangent and help her with her car. And it's Lisa Bonet.
Mike? Ooh!
Lisa Bonet has turned up in another movie I'm watching for the show.
Yeah.
She was previously in Angel Heart. And she looks a lot the same.
This
woman doesn't age.
I was going to say, did she get naked in this one?
Not really, no. There is a sex scene. So basically what happens next is just this montage of Momoa goes off with Lisa Bonet and they smoke a bunch of weed and get high and they fuck, and Cash goes to a strip club and gets really drunk.
So wait, she fucked what's his name? Handsome
Mickey
guy
Rourke?
from the 80s.
Mickey
Rourke in the 80s. And then in 2014 she's fucking Momoa?
Yeah.
Dude, does she not ever get bad dick thrown at her?
Yeah, that's 25 years, dude.
This is all the dick I take.
Is that a slight to Mike?
What?
What?
I would take Mike's dick. I mean,
he said, "Look at all the dick I take," and just thought you were insulting Mike, saying that he wasn't up to par with Mickey Rourke and Jason Momoa.
I don't have sex with Angus.
Fucking Lisa? I'm so confused.
I guess I missed it because I didn't hear right.
I'm just saying, I would have fucked 80s Rourke. I'd fuck 2014's Momoa.
Way before I'd fuck Lisa Bonet, totally.
Yeah, totally. Both of them.
In the 25 years between those two movies, she looks like she's aged about 8. So, yeah.
Quaaludes do that to you.
Yeah. So this is a sex and drugs montage. Cash ends up getting something like a lap dance and a little bit of I don't know, handy, or I wasn't fully paying attention at this
Mike,
point.
I'd fuck you.
Because this went on
I'd
for
fuck
way
you before
long.
Lisa.
Thank you, buddy.
I don't think you would.
I think you would.
Yeah.
I think we have.
Yeah. Oh, just for convenience, ease of access.
We did it while watching the Cosby Show in the background. We just fucked each other. Just going, ew, Lisa Bonet.
Yeah. She's so unattainable, it's disgusting. Icky. So anyway, Cash can't play the hooker, so he gets his ass beat. Jason Momoa fixes Lisa's car, and then they end up. First Lisa Bonet shaves Jason for some reason, so there's her shaving his face scene, not anywhere else, just the face.
Lame.
And then they decide they're going to move on, and they have this weird moment where it's like a heart to heart, but Cash just spouts really shitty lines. Like, when anyone tries to love me, I push them away, make them hate me. And then at the end of the scene, he says...
Are those new metal lyrics? Dude, she wrote that's a new OTEP album?
the one that they did with Corporate Avenger writing the lyrics.
The funny thing is, Corporate Avenger dropped that gimmick in 2002.
Yeah, the OTEP's picking it up. Like, they just found it lying around. Like, oh, Corporate Avenger's not using this anymore. Let's make it our thing. Yeah. Dude, I laughed till I fucking cried reading those album lyrics.
Go read the new...
Yeah. Go look up... What's the name of it? Halt Right or something? That's the song. Oh, it's Cult 45 is the name of the album.
Halt 45 and 266.
Yeah. It's... Yeah. It's almost
terrible.
like a parody album of extreme left-wing ideals. Like
Weird OTEP Yankovic.
Just writing parody tirades against Trump.
I guarantee you until 3 a.m. tonight, I'm going to be making these song titles.
Making up OTEP lyrics to go along with them.
He's really, really Trump. Just fucking famous songs just about him being an asshole.
I can't think right now. So anyway, the last line of that scene is Cash saying, I don't really like myself, man, you know?
Powerful.
Yeah. And then they're on the road, and then they meet this little kid comes running out near sunset saying, help me, help my sister, help me. So then they randomly run through, like, fields of grain. Like, this is a Terrence Malick film. That's a reference Mike can pick up.
Yes.
I didn't catch it.
Yeah. So, anyway, Momoa runs into this guy about to rape a girl. He looked kind of like Justin Timberlake. And then he kicks his ass and like.
Did he have his dick in a box?
No, he had it.
He was trying to get his dick in a box.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He had 3 fingers in because he was said, "How many fingers can I get in?" And he was counting them 1, 2, 3, and then Jason Momoa was like, "No, you don't." And he kicked his ass and then held his eyes open and pushed his face into the headlights of his car, like the guy's car. He was raping her by the dashboard light.
That's such a more romantic song.
So then then for a while, Cash catches up and they run off with the girl and her little brother who got their attention, and then they're lost in the weed again for a while. Eventually they find a police station and they drop off the girl and the kid and they're like, hey, she was raped, and then they just try to run off and the cop was like, no. No, that's not what you do. But then he finds out that like who Jason Momoa is.
Is it like a trick? Like a hey, look over there.
Yeah. Well, he finds
hey,
out
this girl's been raped, and then you run away.
Yeah. Like a ding dong ditch.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom. She's been raped, and run. Which is like that's what they tried to do, but the cop just like pulled out his gun. It's like, what are you doing? But he finds out, who Jason Momoa is, and since he's a cop's son and he knows what he did, and he respects him for it, he lets them go.
I respect anybody that can control the fish.
Yes. And then there's just a scene of them chilling in a bathroom. I was like, okay, I guess. Like a public restroom. And then eventually, nope, they're just hanging out outside the stalls. Like, that's where they catch their breath from running away and getting back to their bikes and everything. So now Jason Momoa and Cash finally get to Jason's sister's house where the ashes are. This guy who's not John Leguizamo, but damn well could have been John Leguizamo, says, "Hey, meet your godson." And they have him they have a little hammock in a tree for the baby, but they really conspicuously don't show a baby in the scene, so it's fucking weird. I guess they couldn't have the baby that day, or the baby was being really uncooperative, or being a diva or something. You talk to my agent.
Didn't in the Sniper movie they have to use a fucking fake baby?
Yeah, they had a really fake baby. So I guess it's better than having a really fake baby.
Yeah, that's so much worse. That throws you out of it so much quicker.
And then they have a bunch of he reunites with his sister. They have a bunch of happy scenes to sad music because this is an indie film after all. And then I wrote
film.
And then I wrote, "Hey, there's the baby," because they actually show the baby with the family. So then, not John Leguizamo takes them up to the trailhead to get to where they're going on the lake, which is really far up a mountain. And then he goes back, and the FBI guy is finally caught up to Jason Momoa, and he has a warrant to search not John Leguizamo's house, and he gets really threatening and dickish, and the sister slaps him, so he has her arrested. And then he holds the baby and makes all these threats to not John Leguizamo until finally not John Leguizamo caves to take him to the trail to catch up to Jason Momoa.
But didn't they just let Jason Momoa go?
Well, we're getting to the end. So Jason Momoa is out there shirtless in water, and it's snowing. So apparently, through this whole movie, Jason Momoa just feels no cold, which is weird.
He can go to any part of the ocean.
Yeah, early in the movie,
some of the ocean gets cold. He's fine.
In that alleyway, Cash passes out, so he gives him his jacket, and he's got no sleeves on underneath the jacket. And then there's another part too where they're riding around. He gives Lisa Bonet his jacket. He gets his jacket back, but he keeps giving it away. And then at the end of the movie, he's shirtless.
Give it away.
And cold in the ice. And I'd like to save the ending for my selling point because I think it's a really good ending.
You can do that.
And that's Road to Paloma.
Yay!
I liked it.
Liked it. I quickly pulled up the IMDb.
Yeah.
It's Michael Hayes is the guitarist. That's the only cool wrestler in it. I don't know if you remember Michael Hayes.
I don't, but Angus might.
Okay, I don't.
Don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Not offhand.
Okay.
I didn't look it up. I just looked up the dude from Sons of Anarchy, and I was like, oh, he was a dude in 6 episodes. He didn't mean shit.
Gotcha.
And I did
nobody.
I don't know. They put it on the back of the thing, so I thought maybe he was actually somebody. So pretty much everyone in this, but Jason Momoa, Lance Henriksen, and Lisa Bonet are utter nobodies. Oh, Wes Studi. Wes Studi plays Jason Momoa's dad. He's if you look him up, he's the go-to guy to be a Native American in the 90s. He's in. He's actually in Heat, but he's also Last of Mohicans is his big thing.
I've never seen either of those.
Yeah. Well, if you see his picture, you might recognize him.
No, I won't.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
Just a quick thing about my movie I forgot to talk about, real quick.
Well, do you want to save it for the bullet points?
No, actually, I really don't. I kind of want to let it out
We're
now.
going in the bullet points.
I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it.
Do you want to? Right now is the best bullet points, and you go first. So.
Oh, we're on the bullet points?
Yes.
Jesse's not going to talk about her movie. She got scared.
All right, so I guess the first one then is that Nobody reprised his role as Nobody in the movie Ghost Dog with the guy, the black guy with Forrest Whitaker. So he
almost
was the same
watched
character.
that movie for the show, but it's on my list for my blog.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's kind of fun. I forgot to throw that in.
And that's a Jim Jarmusch movie, which I learned when I watched Only Lovers Left Alive for this show.
Oh, look at
it's
that.
funny.
That's the name of it.
Everything's connected.
But my real bullet point is happens about the middle of the movie where Johnny Depp and the Indian guy are walking, and for some reason we meet Iggy Pop.
What?
And Iggy Pop seems really upset that someone ate his porridge. And nobody...
Was he living with his mother and Daddy Bear? Like, what the fuck?
Sort of.
He's got a lust for porridge.
He is with two characters. Like I guess they're all together. Nobody, the Indian, tells Blake that this is his challenge, but doesn't really tell him what to do. So William Blake goes to hang out with Iggy Pop and his crew for several minutes as they ask him for for grooming
God
tips.
God damn it, Iggy!
Grooming tips and hairstyling tips.
A long-standing inside joke from a time we were really drunk and inebriated. And anyway.
So anyway, they
Iggy!
Now Johnny Depp's hanging out with him. And then when they talk about his hair and stuff like that, Depp quips, "I guess I'm just lucky." Which I thought was really funny. But it's also a little unlucky because they really want to fuck him after getting all worked up about his hair. And they get to fighting over who has homosexual sex with Depp. And that's and who the guy who wants to have sex with him the most is Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh my god.
What?
And but instead, he gets shot in the foot, and then Nobody comes out of nowhere and slits his throat, and then Depp shoots Iggy Pop, and then the third homosexual, who isn't famous, also dies. But before dying, Billy Bob calls Depp a Philistine, which I guess means uncultured, because I had to look that up.
Yeah,
and I assumed it was because of his stupid fucking suit that he wore all movie. So that's my bullet point for my movie.
Damn.
That was a great one.
Mine's not as good as that. Angus, what's your selling point once those dogs shut the fuck up?
Hey, shut up. Fuck you. I didn't really do bullet notes on this one or bullet points. I did something a little different. What I did was I took out the best names from the credits.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
first up we have Robert Frank Pegamegabo.
I'm already in love with what you did. Okay.
So these are okay.
The next person we have is Leslie J.D. Taban Dung.
Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne Gretzky.
Next, I wish
Lance
I knew another
Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen.
Don do do dog.
The next person we have is Terry White Duck.
Okay, White Duck. That's a common Canadian last name.
Another person that I really liked is Selim Running Bear Sandoval's.
These are all just make believe.
So those are my favorites of them.
Okay.
Also, during the credits, there's a song playing called "My Indian Car." And the whole song is about this man driving his Indian car. And it sounds like a white man singing it. And, he just describes
Adam Sandler and his piece of shit car?
Yes, it's absolutely the piece of shit car song. But instead, it's about his Indian car.
Oh, no.
Which
I'm going to have to listen to that later.
It seems so ridiculously racist and funny. But it's actually a toe-tappingly good song. All right, and one last one to do with music. When Frank was on the motorcycle on the back of the truck, and I told you guys that there was metal music playing. turns out that was by an actual band named Full Metal TP. And that's right. What I got for this one.
All right.
So I have 3 selling points for Road to Paloma, including telling you the ending. My first selling point is just to reiterate that Momoa can actually direct. Like, occasionally he has those, like I said, those kind of cliche montages, but like he opens up on a really striking image of, you know, the silhouette of himself working against the sun. And through the whole movie, it's a really good looking movie. And also just, you know, the characters are all really good in the movie. The second selling point is that Jason Momoa on his bike and wearing all this leather and shit, and he has like knives strapped to him, like big ass knives. He looks like he's out of Mad Max. Like, Cash looks like your normal white dude biker. Momoa is a fucking Mad Max character, which just, like, even when it was getting to boring, I was like, yeah, this is great. He looks like he's out of Mad Max. You could pretend it's a different movie when you're getting tired of the indie movie shit. Anyway, so the best part of the ending is, you know, the Browning and the FBI guy have them cornered, and Browning doesn't, you know, really want to kill him, but the FBI guy's like, oh, he's not coming in for arrest because he's out there in this lake, you know, still burning his mother's ashes. So he really wanted to just, you know, kill him rather than try to even bring him in. So what Momoa does, knowing that he's cornered, is, you remember I said he had those big ass knives? He fucking commits seppuku.
Oh.
What?
Yes!
Sweet.
I was like sitting there watching. I was like, okay, well, there's no way out for this. Like, they built the character like he's probably going to kill himself, right? And he like reaches back. He's like, he's getting the knife. And I was like, wait, no, he is not, because he's like sitting there. He's been on his knees. He's been on his knees the whole time while he's doing this ritual. I was like, he is not. He is. I couldn't fucking believe it. And then he like brings the knife way out, and then boom into his belly, and he starts sawing it. I was like, oh my fucking god,
that's
Jason
awesome.
Momoa commits seppuku at the end of Road to Paloma. Spoiler.
Does it show it like graphically?
It's not, you see like you see like liquid blood, but you don't see like, it's not a graphic kind of movie.
I wanted to see like ripping through.
Yeah,
like,
no, but it's still powerful.
So cool.
It is still powerful. It was. Oh, I was so happy.
That's unexpected, man.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it.
I like good.
The whole time it was like obviously building to it, and I was like, no, they won't. He's not going to commit fucking seppuku in this Native American indie movie, and then he did. And I was so fucking happy.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's our best bullet points. Now it's time to move on to the best part of the show, the part you've all been waiting for. That's when we relate all of our movies to Paul W.S. Anderson's Event Horizon in a segment called The Horizon Shift.
Horizon Shift.
All right, Michael, you didn't interrupt, so go ahead with your Horizon
This is
Shift.
so awkward.
All right. Well, Crispin Glover starts the film by telling us that William Blake is in hell, even though he thinks he's in a town called Machine. And to end the film, nobody tells William Blake that he is going home, even though this is just Blake dying. So I choose to identify this film as Johnny Depp playing William Blake, one of the original crew of the Event Horizon, where instead of succumbing to the horrors that the ship wanted to show him, as played by Lance Henriksen's character, he finds a way to escape eternal hell through death. And that is my Horizon Shift.
That was good.
All right.
The funny thing about this is, like, every week we're like, fuck, dude, how are we going to do a Horizon Shift? This is so fucking difficult. Like, this is the hardest part of doing this podcast, man.
It is.
Like,
it
every
really is.
fucking time. And I was like, oh, fuck, I gotta come up with one. We were talking about today, and I was like, shit, I don't have one either, but I wanted to let you guys know that. So, I forgot to make one, but anyways, I'll wing it.
Yeah.
All right, so with my movie, it's like these guys and like all their like they're living good lives and stuff, but then one like thing of fate, like finding the dead body, puts them on a whole nother trajectory, right?
Mm-hmm.
To where they're willing to like take another life, all this and stuff to do what they think is right. And kind of the same way, like when the hell portal was opened, that he felt like it was right to like change. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm drunk.
All right. I want to just say, I'm surprised, Mike, with all the fucking and eating going on in your movie, you didn't just say the fucking and eating, because that's literally a scene in the Event Horizon.
Oh shit, yeah.
When they show the crew, they're all fucking
eating
each other. They're literally doing what?
To be fair, it's only 20 seconds.
I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to go deeper.
But to be to be even more fair, it was meant to be longer.
Yeah.
And it's there though. It's still there.
It's true.
That they were having sex with each other while eating each other in their big, nasty, gory orgy. That you can't really see unless you pause the movie.
Yeah. Or watched it every year for 10 years.
Yeah, watch it every year for 9 years in a row. And, like, check for updates every, 2 months on those deleted scenes, even though Paul W.S. Anderson has said that they found them, but the quality is completely unusable and they'll never release them.
Well, what about, I read one yesterday that, blew my mind. They were, they found a VHS, rough cut, and then he's just unusable.
Yeah.
It's well, fuck you, man. Don't determine what's unusable. I would like to see that.
Why can't you just throw it on YouTube and let us decide if it's unusable?
Exactly.
Oh, I have to have an Horizon shift.
Yeah, it's you.
I almost forgot because mine is so tenuous, but it's not as tenuous as Angus's non-existent one.
Hey, shut up. It was there. Somewhere it was there.
So Jason Momoa's character is Wolf, right?
Oh.
And I poured over IMDb trying to find anything. I went from both sides. I went, down Road to Paloma, everybody, even the guy who held the fucking boom. I was like, tell me you did something 20 years ago.
Here comes the boom.
And then the other side, I went to Event Horizon. I was like, okay, I just went on Road to Paloma. Let me see if any of these names seem familiar. By the way, Road to Paloma, one of the guys in the backyard wrestling, one of the extras, is Michael Jackson. Not the Michael Jackson, but it's always funny when you see a Michael Jackson.
We had a Michael Jackson in our school.
Yes, everybody did. Anyway,
who does that at our age, though? Fuck.
Since our
those parents are cool as shit.
Since our random Native American movie podcast episode is becoming one of our longest yet, for whatever reason, let me wrap this up. So Jason Momoa's name is Wolf.
For we have been here for decades. We record long time.
When he goes to visit his sister's house, we meet the baby. His sister has named the baby after him. So the baby's name is
This
Wolf.
Baby is long-running winded podcast.
So you could infer...
We do not let it go.
So the credits list him as Baby Wolf. Kind of like Baby Bear.
Cool. I get it.
So fucking...
That was bad. Yeah. So now to just...
I thought way too hard about mine. What the
fuck? So now it's time to cast our votes and be done with this episode. By the way, if you haven't been keeping score, the current tally is Mike and Angus tied for 5, and I have 2.
As I mentioned to TJ, he's been too highbrow for us, I think. That's been the problem.
Too highbrow, yeah.
So, I guess the bullet...
I thought I had bleeders.
I guess
I pick what has the most rape.
Yeah.
Is the winner? So it's either between Angus and his the way his Indian voice, which I really like.
Yes, he's got a great Indian voice. I can't do
very
it at
good.
all.
But Jason Momoa killed himself. No, I can't.
Jason Momoa is a bitch.
And he killed himself.
We call him Little Wolf Faggot Dick.
But Jason Momoa killing himself as a bullet point really kind of gives the winner to TJ
great.
here.
It was
So.
such a good movie.
So I guess I can't, since I can't pick myself, I have to pick Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Angus, it's your turn, friend.
Oh fuck, dude. The funny thing is, like, coming into this, like, I wanted to see Dead Man before, like, they had the screening here and everything, and I wanted to go to it, but I never did because I'm a fucking lazy piece of shit. And I say I'm gonna do things and never do them. And I was totally sold with the Lance Hendrickson shit on yours and everything else. Like, fuck, dude. The Billy Bob Thornton, like, all that just fucking great. But god damn it, dude. He got me with the WWE films. Jason Momoa. Like, fuck, man. And I hate voting for TJ because he's an asshole.
I don't have anything bad. I actually... anyway.
You totally won this one, bro.
Awesome. Seppuku. As soon as he did that, I was like, oh my god, I'm going to win. Like, whatever else happened in this movie, Jason Momoa commits fucking seppuku. I won. That's why I was like, oh shit, I gotta like update my theme list. I
am ashamed that I have lost
So
this
who
to
do
the
you
one they
choose?
call
'Cause I still-
Aquaman.
But before, so yeah, your selling point with Iggy Pop and Billy Bob Thornton really pushed me over the edge in your camp. And also your horizon shift, even though you didn't quite say it, what you made me think of was like, not that like, you know, Johnny Depp got the sweet release of death, but that rather than face the traditional horrors of the event horizon, he went inside himself, and because he was a history buff, he lived out this like semi-horrific fantasy of a life and then a death in the 1880s. That was his, you know, result from the...
So you didn't listen to any of our movies. You actually had spent the whole 2 hours making shit up about our movies.
Mostly
But even yours just seems kind of weird. But I do want to say that Mike does literally have like the strongest sounding movie, like in like structurally what like critics would like and shit.
Yeah.
His like I don't think ours would ever be Criterion, you know. But
your title is
you
even
get my
like
answers.
dumb. Your title is dumb. Dance Me Outside.
Dance me outside now, for I will put you to shame. My moves flow freely like our
we gotta wrap
universal
it up.
health
I
care.
want to go.
Yeah, so I have a few themes. Most of them are probably shitty. So
Yeah, give us a good one.
I'll give you a good one, and then Angus will be happy, so maybe he'll vote for me more in the future, since last time I won, I got Bollywood, and he fucking wanted to spit in my face. Jallo.
It was a good episode.
Jallo?
Jallo?
Giallo.
Gallo?
What are you saying?
It's Giallo.
Giallo. I've heard it said Jallo all the time when I'm listening to podcasts.
I've always heard Giallo.
We're talking
All right.
about our themes.
Yeah. Giallo.
Jello?
The Giallo pudding.
I don't know
That
what you're
bitch
talking about.
Lisa
Okay.
Bonet fucked Aquaman.
Maybe I can explain the genre to you later, or I can text you the word.
Like, is he like Jello the director? Like, what are we talking?
No, like Italian 70s Italian murder mysteries.
Suspense, thriller, murder mystery, yeah.
Okay, I love it. I love Italian movies. Cool, I'm down.
Yeah, so that's it.
Awesome.
I like it.
But won't be our next episode.
Oh, right.
The next episode you guys hear
What?
is going to be our extra special Event Horizon Month episode. So you see, we mentioned earlier in the episode that we watch Event Horizon every year and have been doing so for, this is year 8 or 9.
No, it's got to be
9.
9. Year 9.
9.
And although Event Horizon was released in August, we didn't have our shit together. We just kind of fell into watching it in September. So September is our Event Horizon month.
Oh shit! That's like in 7 days. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't give out the times, Mike.
I mean,
what?
They're listening to this fucking 6 weeks later.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be released in 8 weeks or whatever. Anyway, the next episode you hear will not be Giallo.
For the seasons will change by the time that episode comes.
It will be our special Event Horizon themed episode. And the theme will be Paul W.S. Anderson movies to celebrate the director himself.
Yay. I hope we all just watch Mortal Kombat.
Yep.
I thought we all picked
something everybody has watched.
All right.
I've already told you the movies I'm in between, so.
Yeah.
Angus has to tell us to make sure to subscribe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I will. Well, I'm not the one who's supposed to do it. The fucking main host should, but I'm just Angus, the one who remembers.
Angus always remembers to
We like the way you do it.
All you listeners, that Angus, this is your part. You do it better.
Yeah.
And here I go. For you, if you are a true fan of our show, you shall follow the podcast. Please go to our Facebook page and like the page. We also have Instagram full of many pictures that'll make your likes soar throughout the lands of the internet. And we also are on iTunes and Google Play. Please follow and share and review podcasts, for it helps us the way Mother Earth helps us wake up in the morning. You gotta forgive Chief Barks-a-Lot Dogs or whatever the fuck my name is, for I am drunk. I had too much to drink tonight for this podcast.
Water.
Too much fire water for one man to consume, for it makes my soul burn with the envy of... I don't know, just fucking follow our shit and review us, please. Thank you.
All right, thanks,
I love
bye.
you.
Good night. See you for the Event Horizon one. Bye.
See ya.